What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more of the Tragically Hip, and thank you again to Yvonne, who shared the Your Favorites compilation, which we've gone through, as well as Phantom Power 1998, which we're currently going through, and maybe there's some more Tragically Hip coming after that. Nevertheless, I'm jumping over Fireworks because we listened to that as part of the Your Favorites compilation, so the next tune specific to this album, which I haven't yet heard, is Vapour Trails, which makes one think of the vapor trails left by aircraft in the sky, and I suppose there's an immediate visual reference, but I do wonder if there might be some conceptual meaning, the idea of humans traversing the sky and maybe making a distinction between humans of earlier generations that did not do that and did not leave that mark on nature. But also I could see it just literally being a visual backdrop to some tale down here on Earth, so I don't quite know how to take it. I will say their lyrics tend to combine history and specific references with characters and stories and poetic turns of phrase, so I'll do my best to keep up and see what I can catch. This is the Tragically Hip. The tune is Vapour Trails, and it's from the 1998 album Phantom Power.
Brick face and coffin made, and by a list of
really like that. Number one, I feel like that wasn't particularly short, but as it began to fade, I was almost thinking like, man, I could really use another minute or so of this tune. I'm gonna say like 4.5, somewhere in there. Is that right? Yeah, just about exactly 4.5. So it's interesting. When we listened to Membership, I think Yvonne commented something like that. For their standard, it was a bit neither here nor there. There was a bit like meh, I think is essentially the point she was making. I certainly enjoyed it, but in their larger body of work that I've heard, I suppose I did hear that, but I don't think that's the case here. I think they really are in a good groove and in their way in this tune. Number one, I think Gord's vocals are fantastic, and they seem to get more epic and more expressive over the course of the tune, and there's some eccentricities, like there's some words where he leans into a syllable for a long run before then forming the rest of the word, and there's some melodic flourishing that he does that is like just in his own way. Again, I hear a lot of great singers as I go through these different deep dives, and a lot of them are very distinct, meaning once you start hearing them sing, excuse me, you would never mistake them for anyone else. And that's certainly the case with Gord. And I feel like he's really at the top of his game in this song, especially when he gets more fiery and passionate. I love the guitar overall, but especially when it starts to solo or flare up in that latter, I don't know, third of the tune or so. So yeah, lyrically, I feel like it's actually maybe functioning on multiple levels. Like, I think he's using it as a simile to blow away like a vapor trail. Like, it's evidence of something that's there, but it's dissipating. It disappears, and the physical remnants of whatever motion was traveled, whatever distance was covered, of whatever activity took place is no longer. It ceases to be. I think he's also talking about flying home to his place where he can sit on his bed and, stare into his shoes. I was thinking of shoegaze, which I don't think there's any direct connection there. But yeah, it feels like it's also serving a narrative function, the idea of taking a plane somewhere, and then once you arrive, the evidence of your journey dissipates in time, and you're, like he's in this new environment and all that entails. And I feel like maybe it's also like functioning as, again, a visual backdrop, some conceptual meaning, beyond the literal image of it and beyond the narrative function. So yeah, I feel like it is working on multiple levels. I don't know how it all stitches together, and I think, there might even be a more specific meaning here that I'm not picking up on or I'm not privy to. Nevertheless, I enjoyed the phrasing of some of the lines. And what was it like? Something about pride, and then there's nothing, was it uglier than a man hitting his stride? Which it feels like philosophically a very apt point, but I don't know if there's a particular historical meaning or if there's some relevance to the idea of flying home and looking at your shoes. But maybe the idea that, the vapor trails are what we all are. So anyone who's thinking of themselves with great pride, or thinking that they're making a big, long-lasting impact, it's like the idea that Ozymandias, like, here's Ozymandias, king of kings, and it's long after he's died, and the statue's withering to the wind and the sand and the elements which take place over thousands of years and more, and we humans have these short lifespans. So it feels like maybe there's a point there, like maybe the idea of pride is not really fitting to the vapor trail that is our own life. So again, maybe that has nothing to do with the song, but I was really trying to look at some of the lines from some different angles as I caught them. In any case, I really enjoy this one. This feels like them in a really good groove, sonically, vocally certainly, and even lyrically, despite my ambiguity on some points. So yes, looking forward to hearing what people have to say. Let me know, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.